The Forgotten House. In the small, sleepy town of Willow Creek, there was a house no one spoke about. It sat at the end of Thornhill Road, hidden behind overgrown trees and a rusted gate. The locals called it the Forgotten House. For years, it had been abandoned, left to rot. The windows were shattered, the roof sagged, and ivy crawled up the crumbling walls like nature itself was trying to strangle it. Children dared each other to step inside, but most never made it past the front yard. They'd say the air felt wrong there, heavy and cold even in the summer. When Emily and her husband David moved to Willow Creek, they didn't know the stories. They had just bought their first house, a fixer-upper they could afford. They were young, optimistic, and ready to take on the challenge. The Forgotten House was 2 doors down. "Looks like a haunted house," Emily said with a laugh as they walked past it on their first day. "Probably just full of raccoons," David joked. But that night, Emily couldn't sleep. She lay in bed staring at the ceiling, listening to the creaks and groans of their old house settling. Around 3 a.m., she heard it. A faint sound, like whispering coming from outside. Curious, she got up and looked out the window. The Forgotten House was dark, as always, but she thought she saw movement near the gate. A shadow, there and then gone. She told herself it was her imagination, and went back to bed. The next morning, they met their neighbor, an elderly woman named Mrs. Grayson. "You're brave to live so close to that place," Mrs. Grayson said, nodding toward the Forgotten House. "Why?" Emily asked. Mrs. Grayson lowered her voice. "Terrible things happened there. A family lived there long ago. They say the father went mad and, well, he killed them. His wife, his children, all of them. The house has been cursed ever since." Emily laughed nervously. "It's just an old house." Mrs. Grayson's face turned serious. "Don't go near it. And whatever you do, don't go inside." That night, the whispers came again. Louder this time. Emily tried to ignore them, but then she heard something else. A child's laugh. High-pitched, echoing in the darkness. "David," she whispered, shaking him awake. "What?" he mumbled. "Listen." They both froze as they heard it. A knock. Not on their door, but from outside, faint and hollow, coming from the direction of the Forgotten House. David sighed. "Probably just kids messing around. I'll check it out." "No!" Emily grabbed his arm. "Don't go out there." But he didn't listen. He grabbed a flashlight and headed outside. Emily watched from the window, her heart pounding. David walked toward the Forgotten House, his flashlight cutting through the fog. He reached the gate, paused, then pushed it open with a loud creak. "Hello?" he called. The flashlight flickered. "David, come back!" Emily shouted from the window, but David stepped closer. The door to the Forgotten House was slightly ajar, and it creaked open as if inviting him inside. He disappeared through the doorway. Emily waited, but he didn't come back. She ran outside, calling his name, but the house was silent. The door was closed, and no matter how hard she pushed, it wouldn't budge. The next morning, the police searched the house. It was empty. No sign of David, no sign of anyone. Days turned into weeks, and Emily couldn't shake the feeling that the house was watching her. Sometimes, late at night, she'd hear his voice calling her name, faint and distant. "Emily, come inside." But she never did. Years later, the house still stands, forgotten by the world. The townsfolk say if you listen closely at night, you can hear whispers and laughter coming from inside. And sometimes they say you can see a shadow in the window, a man searching for a way out. But no one ever goes back in.